So after our final day of Sick Week down at South Georgia Motorsports Park, I received an invitation to come to northern Georgia to a track just south of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Good morning, everybody, from Ringgold, Georgia. We are at Brainerd Motorsports Park this morning. The owner here reached out to me several months ago when I was putting together plates and 28s and asked if he could get me to do an event similar to that here. And I said, well, I've never been to Brainerd. I don't know, I'm pretty busy. I don't know if I'd ever have time, but he asked if I'd stop by and visit sometime if I'm in the area, and it just so happens I'm in the area. I'm on my way home from Sick Week. I thought I'd stop by here and just check the place out. It's a beautiful area. It's right here in the foothills of the mountains just south of Chattanooga, Tennessee, right at the northern edge of Georgia. It took about, 3 or 4 hours to get up here from SGMP last night. I stopped to get something to eat. Nice drive up here, no trouble. Got through Atlanta okay about midnight. And so we're here this morning. I'm going to check this place out, and we're going to unload the Malibu, make a couple passes. During Sick Week, I didn't really get a chance to test the car. It was kind of trial by fire. Every day was make a pass, and the initial goal was to just be consistent. But after my first day, I only got to turn in a time slip for one pass on the first day, and it was a terrible time. 11:06, the car barely ran. So from that point on, I was like, I'll just see how fast I can get this thing to go. I'm just here for a vacation anyway. So that's what I did. We went from 11:06, we got it down to 10:74 last night, the last day of South Georgia Motorsports Park Sick Week. And so I've been making improvements all week on it, but I really haven't had time to just kind of test and make some passes and see what the car likes. I've been doing it one day at a time, And so I'm just going to unload the car here today, check this place out, see what it's like, and maybe do something similar to a meet and greet or a car show cruise type of deal down here in the future. I don't know. We'll see. This place is pretty old school. There's no fancy tree. Yeah, it's old school. Kind of different because it's nestled right in along the interstate. I was kind of shocked when I pulled in last night. I had to turn left right next to the interstate overpass. Of course, it was dark then, but interesting little place. So evidently when I came in last night, I came in over there. I've never been here. It was dark, but I parked over there on that side, and it looks to me like you're supposed to come in this entrance, come down the hill, and then staging lanes are right there, and it looks like the pit area, the main pit area, is way back there. Starting line don't look too bad. We're used to racing on no prep, so anything that's got rubber is pretty decent to us, but don't look too bad. It's an old track, got a little flavor to it, a little character. I love trees in the pits, man. It reminds me of Dragway 42 before they rebuilt the track up home. Looks a lot like Dragway 42 used to. Looks like they got a nice little concession stand. They got grandstands there with a roof. Everything needs to have a roof down here to keep you out of the sun. They got a little sun shield over the stands on the other side of the track too. You can see there's a lot of water laying around here. I think they had quite a bit of snow here just a few days ago, like last week. Thankfully it's all melted now, but geez, I can't imagine having snow down here. Now this is really nice. They've got a raised area here for handicapped people. So if you're in a wheelchair or something, got a little wheelchair ramp up the back. Yeah, they got reserved parking there for handicap. Little ramp, that's nice. We did something similar to that at Pacemakers years ago. Always good to walk in and see American flags everywhere. That's usually a good sign. Streetcar life. Well, I wonder what that's all about. Yeah. After I checked out the track for a few minutes, I decided to get the Malibu out of the trailer and go do a little sightseeing. Now personally, I'm pretty much over the whole no prep scene. I've been there, I've done that. But drag and drive style events with streetcar shootouts, now that sounds like a good time to me. And so if I plan on hosting an event like that at Brainerd in the future, I need to learn the lay of the land. And so I headed out to one of the most important landmarks of this area. Right along the Tennessee River in Chattanooga, there's a scenic byway that takes you to the top of a mountain. On my way up, I stopped at this little gift shop to get something to drink and pick up a souvenir for Vicky. This little red birdhouse that says Sea Rock City. My next stop was at Ruby Falls, halfway up the mountain, where they've got this really neat observation tower that overlooks the city of Chattanooga. While this is a really neat checkpoint, it's only only about halfway up the side of the mountain, and I've got my sights set on higher places. At the very top of Lookout Mountain, there's a Civil War monument that I just had to see for myself while I'm here. It's about a 25-minute drive up to the top of the mountain to the Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military Park. Believe it or not, there's actually a good bit of parking available up there along the street to the park, as well as along the rock wall just outside of it. Now, it does cost $10 a person to get in, and I'm sure that money goes towards keeping the park maintained. But in my opinion, it's well worth it for the breathtaking views alone. But for me personally, I very much enjoy American history and felt privileged just to be here. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this is amazing. I've never been here. I've never been to Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is the most amazing thing. It's just incredible. The sights up here, the history. I don't know much about the Battle of Chattanooga. However, I have a long drive home and I plan on listening to some history, probably through YouTube. I can plug my phone into my stereo in the truck and I can listen to documentaries and things like that on the way home, and I'm very intrigued. I'd like to learn more about this, and it's just a very surreal experience to be here. It's beautiful. The bloody battle that took place here led to the fall of Atlanta just a few months later, in 1863. After visiting the park, I drove back down to Chattanooga to study up on some local history and get a bite to eat at Twin Peaks. Believe it or not, the girls recognized me from a Cletus McFarland video and asked, "Are you the guy that tuned James's carburetor?" I said, "Well, yes, I am." So we took some pictures before I headed back to the track. Today was the first scheduled test and tune for the 2025 season, and there were quite a few people that came out to say hi, but there was definitely a reoccurring question that had nothing to do with me or the Malibu.
I'd like to thank you for coming by here at Brainerd Motorsports Park. We love the content, but more importantly, where's Tess?
Well, we were just having that discussion. Everybody wants to know where Tess is. Believe it or not, out of all the people we hang out with, Tess seems to be the most popular. So you guys been watching these videos, and the last time you saw me drive this thing home from Florida, right?
That's right.
And the one of you said, well, you had good company.
Right.
I had a pretty decent looking seat cover, didn't I? Now, don't get bashful now. What do you think of Tony's camera skills?
Talk about stupid. He's a good cameraman.
He is, isn't he? He does a fantastic job, doesn't he?
Tony knows what runs faster than these cars. Snapping necks and causing wrecks.
Snapping necks and causing wrecks. That's right. The chiropractors are busy down there this week. Jimmy is a character, isn't he?
He's crazy.
You guys are all Jimmy Dalers?
Oh, yeah.
You guys all watch Jimmy Dale? Shout out to Jimmy Dale, huh? You don't watch Jimmy Dale?
Not much.
Why not?
I couldn't watch y'all.
Oh, he's not a Jimmy. You look like a Jimmy Dale.
No, I ain't goddamn
He'll be out there with the box beating your stuff.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's a track man right there.
That says BMP. That don't say Jimmy Dale?
No,
Oh.
Hey, don't give him a hard time. I gave him a hard enough time out there.
everybody does.
After visiting with all the locals for about 20 or 30 minutes, it was finally time for the track to go hot. And one of the first cars to pull into the burnout box definitely caught my eye. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a sucker for a 64 or 65 Chevelle. Oh my God, it's a 4-speed. Look at the steering wheel. Look, bro, did you steal my car? I'm about to steal yours. That's beautiful, man. Gorgeous. That beautiful blue Southern 65 Super Sport Chevelle was right up my alley. But there was a little bit of everything pulling through the gates while I was there at Brainerd. From junior dragsters to street cars and full-blown race cars. I couldn't wait to make a pass down the track myself. First pass in the Malibu went down without a single problem, but the second one, I had a little problem with traction. I brought the car up against the converter a little bit higher than what I had been, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out for me. The car spun so bad that I thought I broke something and pulled over against the wall just in case I was leaking. Once we made sure the car was okay, I brought it back to the staging lanes to try another pass. All right, so I went up there for that last hit, and I brought it up on the converter a little harder than what I normally would. Usually I let this car leave at like 15 to 1700 RPM, and that's plenty. And the reason I do that is because at that RPM, the converter is still loose enough where it doesn't preload the rear suspension. If you bring it up too high on the converter when you're foot braking, it preloads the suspension and then it changes all your bar angles in the rear suspension, and it also changes your front to rear weight bias, because as the back of the car starts to raise, okay, you start to put more and more and more weight on the nose. So it really affects a lot of different things, and the people here at the track, they're all upset. They're worried that the track's not good enough and this, that, and the other. I said, it's not the track. I'm just trying to figure out where the car will launch and get the best ET. We're gonna try it again, and I'm gonna launch at a lower RPM this time. And you know, this engine, this camshaft was not a foot brake application like my old motor was. This engine was intended to be launched off a trans brake. And here I am in a 3,800 pound car trying to foot brake it with a nitrous converter. So that's why I'm here today. I'm here to test and try to figure out what I can and cannot do with this different engine. It's almost identical. This is the same exact engine I had before, with the exception of it has a smaller bore because it's standard bore block. My old engine was 30 over and this one's standard bore. So it's a 415 instead of a 421. And then the other thing, of course, is the camshaft profile. It's a much more radical cam profile. It's a solid roller, and it doesn't make as much power down low as my old hydraulic roller did. After I made that last pass in the Malibu, there were people starting to bring cars down for me to check out while I was in town, like this beautiful 73 Grand Torino with all original paint, top, and interior. The Torino is wearing mint condition vintage Bob Glidden Krieger wheels, which have been on this car for a very long time. The car has a lot of family history, and just like my mom and dad's 55 Chevy, has been tastefully modified.
You got a 4 motor in it.
For the next 2 or 3 hours, I hung out at the track visiting with people, sharing stories, and taking people rides in my Malibu. Because let's face it, street cars are life.
We'll go for a ride in this thing?
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not, while most of the guys that watch my channel are older, I've got some young guys watching as well.
You like that 10 soldiers okay?
Oh yeah. That's the first thing everybody wants to talk about when they get in this car. They look at that 10 soldier roll bar.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying your ride with me today.
Shoot, I wasn't expecting this.
Well, I wasn't expecting to get to ride around with a superstar myself, you know. Anybody ever tell you look like Morgan Wallen?
No, I ain't never heard that.
You know who Morgan Wallen is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can you sing? Hey, man. Can you believe I'm riding around with Morgan Wallen? What'd you say? You're going to put me on Snapchat?
Snapchat.
What the hell's Snapchat? Is that where you chase women? What do I got to do here? I got to shout out Goose Pond, boys.
Goose Pond.
Goose Pond. Is that how I say it? Goose Pond.
Oh.
Goose Pond, baby. What is that good-looking blonde right there? Is that your girlfriend? Look at him over there smiling like a chessy cat. Morgan Wallen in the flesh. Bro country himself.
Got it.
Got him. After a few trips around the block taking people for rides, I took the car back up to the staging lanes to make one final pass before I pack it in and start making my way home to Central Ohio. So we're wrapping up here for today. I've been visiting with everybody, but you're a little bit unique. You want to explain why you're unique?
I'm a 100% blind mechanic here in North Georgia, still just trying to keep my passion for cars alive. Got a 98 Ford Ranger that I've swapped a 302 V8 and a C4 into.
Really?
8.8 axle out of a Ford Explorer. We're fixing to lower it. Fixing to put together 347 for it. We've had some people sponsor us with some parts, DSS and pistons.
Nice. And you got a YouTube channel.
Oh yes, I do. Blind Luck Mechanic.
Blind Luck Mechanic.
Yep.
On YouTube.
You gotta have some, well, on the saying, blind luck, so I'm a mechanic, so and I'm blind, so it all goes together.
And you can't see a damn thing.
Not a damn
That's a good thing for you, because I'm ugly as a mud fence.
That's what my ex used to say too.
Well, thank you guys for all being so nice to me down here today. Everybody's been so welcoming and so just genuinely nice, just wanting to come and say hi and take pictures. And it's clearing out now, but we've had a great day with everybody down here, man. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. I've been taking people rides and having a great time, and we're listening to this old Ford over there. Sounds like he could probably use some of your assistance. Oh, there it goes.
It took off.
There it goes.
Third time's a charm. Once again for the third time.
Finally, at the end of the day, it was time to tie the Malibu down on the trailer and start making my way home. Well, guys, it's been fun, but it's time to head home. I'm excited to go home and see my dogs, see my wife, and sleep in my own bed, and just relax for a few days and do some editing, try to get caught up. Let's go home.
Road with no name. It's the whistle through the pines when it's singing late at night, while I'm back porch sipping on a six of cold as ice with my feet up. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Hey, can you hear it? Makes you wanna stay for a minute. Backwoods to that downtown square. You gon' find it everywhere. From the boats making way while I'm dockside chillin', picking on a 6-string in a lawn chair. And I ain't going nowhere. Yeah. Way out here in the country, and it's playing loud and clear. Ain't nothing like the country. It's music to my ears. Hey, can you hear it? Makes you wanna stay for a minute. Backwoods to that downtown square. You gon' find it everywhere. Oh, can you feel it? Right where you belong. Kinda feel it. Go on, roll them windows down. There ain't nothing like the sound of my here in the country, and it's playing loud and clear. Ain't nothing like the country, and it's music to my ears. Hey, can you hear it? Makes you wanna stay for a minute. Backwoods to that downtown square. You gon' find it everywhere. Now, oh, can you feel it? Right where you belong. Kinda feel it. Go on, roll them windows down. 'Cause there ain't nothing like the sound of my hometown. That's good. The sound of my hometown now. Ooh, the sound of my hometown.
All right, everybody, we made it back last night, no trouble. The weather here in Ohio is actually pretty decent today. I couldn't believe it. I came home last night and it was like 61 degrees when I made it home at almost midnight. I was like, I brought the nice weather with me. Well, I did, but it's not gonna last long. And my problem right now is that the Biscayne is down in Dayton at Dean Carnes' shop. He called me today, he's like, hey man, do you want me to bring his car to you? I'm like, I don't know, man. I'd kind of like just come down and visit, but I don't have a way to get down there. So I come up with a solution. My dad's 1980 C10 pickup truck out front is warming up, and it needs a fishbowl delete kit. And that's exactly what Dean has in stock. So this old C10 pickup truck came from the Pacific Northwest. It's almost completely rust-free. It's got 80,000 original miles and the original paint still on it. It was the last vehicle that my mom and dad purchased together before mom passed away. Now, I'm not really sure exactly what I plan to do with this truck, but I can assure you that driving around without any window tint in this thing is not pleasant. So for right now, I'm gonna leave the truck down here at Dean Carnes' shop so he can lay out some window tint for me. You may know Dean or recognize him from the Street Outlaws No Prep Kings television show. But as a lifelong resident of Ohio and local bracket racer, I've known of Dean for a very long time.
All right, so Lynn's was busy. She came here early today. She had to tend to the cows. You know, how we've been gone for 2 weeks, and we had her dad watching them. So we want to do something special for whoever wins the car.
What?
So Lindsay signed the dash.
No way.
Sick Week 2025. I signed the dash.
Dude, that's awesome.
And then, just for shits and giggles, we
Oh, we
him a
got
signed bag of
Cheetos?
Cheetos. And then Lindsay's favorite shirt is this white stinky pinky shirt. So whoever wins the car, hopefully that's the
Nice.
right size. We don't know if it's going to fit or not, but
Well, we'll
just
hook it
something
up.
to add to somebody, you know, to have a. I mean, this means a lot to me and Lindsay. She absolutely loved this. I'm stuck now because now I really have to buy her a car and do this next
Oh
year,
my
or
gosh.
build a car, whatever I have time permitting to do. But she fell in love with this. Like, we got to spend time together. It's really hard to explain. It's like 5 different weekends of racing in 5 days.
Yes.
It's like a whole weekend worth of racing packed in a day.
Yes.
Weekend worth of racing packed in a day. And then on top of it, you drive the car you're racing. So those, I mean, hats off to those guys that run anything 850 and faster. Even 850 is doing something, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
But
yeah.
those guys running 6s and 7s, and the guys trying to go 5s and driving this thing 200 miles a night or 250 miles a night. And then I think the first one was like 300 and some miles. It's obscene. I mean, to watch these guys drive it, do it. I did it in this thing will run 1290s when it's completely done and right. We drove this in a perfectly good car that would go across the country, didn't need a lot of work, didn't run into hardly any problems, and still sometimes going to the checkpoints, leaving the track, hanging out with your friends. Before you know it, it's 1 a.m. and you're checking into the next hotel, and you got to be up at 8 to make your first time run.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of work, but it is very, very fun.
You really need to have your shit together.
Yes. Yeah. Like you don't want to go to drag and drive untested, saying I got a car that can run in the 6s. And then the problem is, you test so much, you wear your shit out,
right?
And then you show up with shit that's perfect, and then it ends up breaking because you've tested so much. So it's like a catch-22. But hats off to all those guys, Brent LaSala, Alex Taylor, all the people. I know I'm forgetting
Alex
tons of them.
and her dad.
Yeah, he is such a great guy. Dude.
And he loves it.
He helped me work on this break that night. It was dark out. He done switched it over to go to the street for the 55. They're over there changing spark plugs. Like, he's wore out. He's got black shit all over his face. And I'm like, hey, Dennis.
And she wrenches too, bro.
Yeah. And I go, hey, Dennis, my brake over here is locked up. Can we do something? He's like, all right. So, and we were all traveling in a pack. So, I mean, it's just,
That's
it is
awesome.
absolutely, if you're a drag racing fan, it is absolutely a one-time chance of a lifetime to do this because it's just so much fun. And if you don't want to race, you can do the Sick Ward and just follow the tour, see the sightseeing, do the checkpoints.
And you get VIP parking too.
Like a racer, you get VIP parking. I mean,
you don't have to park out in the weeds.
Definitely try this. Any type of person that has some type of automotive gene in their system, definitely try a drag and drive, no matter what it is, Sick Week, whatever. It's an amazing event.
So the car ran pretty decent. You did have a little trouble with the right rear brake hanging up. You did have a little bit of trouble with the transmission, didn't want to shift, which Gibby told me when I bought it.
Yeah.
The transmission may not shift at wide open throttle. He don't know what's wrong with it. He hadn't touched it. He just drives it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you ended up taking a bath in transmission fluid one day.
Yeah.
Thank God for Carl Rossler.
Thanks, Carl. He's a saint.
He sent you a governor and gave you directions on how to do it, but the pan does not have a drain plug.
Correct.
So the only way to drop the pan is to lay in it.
Lay in it.
And then it's blue transmission fluid. You're like, what in the world?
We had 4 transmission pans under because I was like, what kind of fluid are we going to go back in this? What are we going to find out what it is? And I dropped it. I saw it was blue. I'm like, oh, what is blue transmission fluid? I've used all types of hydraulic, Dexmerk. It don't matter, anything. But I've never seen blue transmission fluid. I'm like, is this LAT? What is this? And then I finally found out it's B&M trick shift fluid in it. So, but we got it back together, and she's working. She's purring like a kitten.
So now it shifts.
Yes, it shifts.
But it still needs a little tuning on the governor.
Yes, absolutely. I think the original governor that is in it raises the shift up in the spot it could be, but the way the governor was placed onto the valve body, the transmission pan gasket was wedged in between the governor gasket and the governor body. So then it was allowing transmission pressure fluid out, so then it would flare the shift.
And then it wouldn't shift.
Then it wouldn't shift. So Carl just sent me a stock to the bone 200R governor that he knows that will work. He said, look, it's going to short shift, but I promise you it will shift. And it did do that. It shifted at 4,800, 3,500, and 3,000.
What?
I was in high gear.
No.
And it went 1395 doing
that way?
Yeah. I mean,
oh my
this
gosh.
thing is an absolute beast on the street. This is fun to drive. Go out, grab some dinner, get groceries in it, go to a cruise in, go to a car show. It's got a chunky little cam in it.
It sounds good.
It's a very nice car.
Now, believe it or not, when I bought this car, I never got to drive it. Dean drove it before I did. And if he says it's nice, I'd have to believe it.
Used to spend my nights winding down the clock, climbing up them whiskey rocks. Wasn't looking for love, just the light of a neon moon. But when you walked in, girl, I figured out what falling fast is really all about. Now I'm looking for love, turns out that it's looking like you. I'm done spending my nights on that bar stool drinking, cause now, girl, you got me thinking. If time is money, you can take mine, honey. I just wanna spend it on you. You can have all my love and I'm all or nothing. I just wanna spend it on you. Yeah, for the rest of the night or the rest of your life. Either way, you're making me the luckiest guy, it's true. I just wanna spend it on you. When you look at me with them lovely eyes, gets this old boy every time. Now I'm thinking the two sounds a lot better than one. Oh yeah, 'cause baby, if time is money, you can take mine, honey. I just wanna spend it on you. You can have all my love and I'm all or nothing. I just wanna spend it on you. Yeah, for the rest of the night or the rest of your life. Either way, you're making me the luckiest guy, it's true. I just wanna spend it on you. Now. I'm done spending my nights on that bar stool drinking, cause now, girl, you got me thinking that I don't wanna miss 1 second with you. If time is money, you can take mine, honey. I just wanna spend it on you. You can have all my love and I'm all or nothing. I just wanna spend it on you. Baby, if time is money, you can take mine, honey. I just wanna spend it on you. You can have all my love and I'm all or nothing. I just wanna spend it on you. Yeah, for the rest of the night or the rest of your life. Either way, you're making me the luckiest guy, it's true. I just wanna spend it on you. Spend it on you. Yeah. I just wanna spend it on you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. So we got the car home, as you can see. I can't wait for you guys to see the next video. Me and Bucko have been working on this thing. We've made some improvements already. You'll see that stuff in the next video, but I'm pretty excited. You know, Dean and his wife were calling it the banana boat, and I was okay with that. But after I drove it, I got a little different name. Well, let me put it this way. I drove it home, and it drove good. Don't get me wrong. I was pretty impressed with it. But then I got to tweaking on this thing a little bit yesterday, me and Buckwheat. We put a new set of headers on it, did a little carburetor tuning, a little ignition timing tuning. I'm impressed. I can't wait to show you guys the next video because it's hilarious. So anyway, this is going to make a really, really nice drag and drive starter kit for somebody. Plenty of room, drives nice, it's comfortable, plenty of room in the trunk for luggage and whatever, you know, coolers, whatever you want to take with you to the drag and drive events, and it runs really good. I can't wait to get an ET slip on it. I think it's going to be a little bit quicker than I thought it would be when I first bought the car. Now, this thing runs on pump gas, so you don't have to chase E85 like we all did at Sick Week. It doesn't do too bad on fuel. It's got an overdrive transmission already. That's really nice. It's got a lock-up converter. That's really, really nice. That's just like my Malibu. You can put it in overdrive on the interstate, lock the converter, and run right with traffic, 75, 80 mile an hour if you want to. No problem at all. I can't remember whether I've mentioned this or not, but this is a original 71,000 mile California car with all its original sheet metal and all its original GM chrome. Overall, it's just a really, really nice, low mileage, original sheet metal California car. Modified tastefully. It's a really nice car. I think everybody's going to enjoy the content, and I know someone's going to enjoy winning it. So anyway, guys, that's going to about wrap this video up. I appreciate everybody for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all that. I really appreciate it. We picked up a number of subscribers here recently, I think partially due to the fact that I was down in Florida and did a little tuning on Jack Stan Jimmy's 240. And I think Cletus put it in his video. So I really appreciated that. I appreciated the opportunity, and that was really nice, those guys. And congratulations to Jack Stan. I think he won that competition with his carbureted car, by the way. So be on the lookout for some more content on this thing, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. I got a nitrous kit coming next.